Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. Ours is a place where dreams take flight, voices are heard, and stories are shared. This is where cultures meet, connections are formed, and ideas are transformed into action. This is your destination for authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations. We're where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover our world of education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our USA Global TV channel and download our USA Global TV app. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. With heartfelt thanks to our executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, music scored by Yifei Tang from Cloud Road Music, creative direction by Paul Garcia, and I'm Al Cini, and I'm very proud to be part of the USA Global TV and Radio family. So join us here at USA Global TV and Radio. Make us your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication, or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited. Thank you for being a part of our global community. Let's inspire together.
Hey everybody, welcome to You as a Whole, Body, Mind, and Soul on USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Justin Mirigliani. Great to be with you again this week. And this week we're going to talk about lack of action. Lack of action. And a lot of people know that as walk the walk or talk the talk. And I think a lot of people, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people talk the talk but don't walk the walk. And I think that's something that we have to take a look at and try to figure out why we don't take that call to action. And I look at it in a lot of different ways. One is you have to keep in mind that people have lives. And sometimes I myself fail at that. I think to myself, why can't they help me out with this? Why is it such a struggle? Why is it so hard to get people to do things? And yeah, I have to be more cognizant of the fact that there are priorities that people have. Maybe they have children, whether they're young children or even older children in college or whatever. They have things, they have jobs, they have, bills, all these different things. And I get it that it can be tough to make a donation to my charity, for instance. I know it can be hard for some people. If you ask somebody to help you with something, maybe, I do obviously computer training. We've talked about that in other shows, and also soft skills training. And somebody might ask me for a favor. Can you show me how to do this or do that? And I have to make the decision. Am I going to walk the walk or am I going to talk the talk? And I can't say that I'm perfect at it, and I don't think anybody is. I mean, no one is perfect at anything. But I'm working on getting better at it. I'm working on doing as much as I can to help people. Now, the fine line becomes, do you become a people pleaser? And this is another one, and I say this on the show all the time. I don't have 100% of the answer here. I think you have to wing it. I think you really do have to wing it and decide for you what is walking the walk and what is being abused. And my way of looking at it is, would this other person come to my aid if I needed them? And if the answer is yes, then I have no problem doing things that help them out. No problem at all. And it doesn't have to be 50-50 either. It could be, it could be 3-1. It could be 4-1. It doesn't matter. 25%, whatever it is. But it doesn't have to be 50-50. You don't have to look at it as, well, I did this last time, so I have to do it this time. That kind of, that kind of counting, A, gets old, and B, wears you down, and C, probably will get people just not to want to do anything. So I don't think it's a good idea to count and try to measure, well, we did this that time, and you did this, and I did that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you do favors for people, and they repeatedly are not available every time you ask for a favor. or every time you ask them to do something, or every time you ask them to donate to a good cause. And I've been trying to do that. Like I said, I don't. There are no people. There aren't any people who are perfect at this, including me. I'm just trying to get better at it while still maintaining the ability to say no if I have to for good reasons. And I think that that's a good thing to have. I think if you're going to err, it's probably better. It's definitely better to err on the side of you do too much than not enough. That's how I look at it. So as far as when we talk about donating money, you know, I've had people donate with thousands of dollars at a time, which is unbelievable. I mean, the fact that somebody would write you a check for two, three, $4,000 and send it to your charity, that's amazing. That's somebody who's walking the walk. What I can't understand is if I go on social media and let's say I reach out to a few thousand people and I say, can you just give us $1? Maybe it's 10,000 people. Can you just give us $1? $2, nothing more than that, just $2, and you get nothing at all. And I don't know. I'm not angry about it. I just don't understand why people don't make that move. I don't know what it is. And some people have the ability to do this. Maybe I just don't. Maybe I'm just not good at it. But some people will, no matter what you do, will not make a move. And I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just that they don't think to do it, or that it's just, it might be, well, now I have to go and I got to open up this window and then I have to go and do this and click on the donate button and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's more the inconvenience than I don't have the money. But it's not just my case too. I've talked to other people who've run GoFundMe's for different things. And I look at their GoFundMe's because I'm interested to know, are people donating? Are people helping them out? And increasingly, I would say no. When I look at it, there might be a donation or two, but that's about it. I mean, it's not, uh, hundreds of people. And I just don't know why. Right now, I'm in the middle of a divorce. I have one child in college. I have another child coming up. She's in high school. My business is struggling. I've talked about all this. I'm very candid about all of this. So I'm not in a great financial position right now. I will be eventually, but at the moment I'm not. Yet, when I see somebody in trouble, a friend or somebody who needs you know, a donation, I can't give 50, $60, $100, but I can give five. Is $5 going to change my situation? Is it going to make me more in debt? No, no, because it's not an everyday thing. I'm not paying $5 a day. It's a one-time thing. So if 10 friends do that, it's $50. It's not a big deal. It's not going to change. It's not going to say, well, okay, now I'm out of financial trouble or I'm in more financial trouble. No, not at all. So I don't know why and what it takes to get people to walk the walk or to get people to do things for you. Like volunteer. Can anybody volunteer to do this? And some people will jump and do it. Absolutely. And they're in, and they won't take a penny for it. And they'll say, yeah, I'm going to help you. And then other people, no, they just don't have any desire or maybe the gumption, I guess, to get up and go out and help people, depending on, no matter what it is. I mean, even if it's not physical, if it's just to show up to an event, you know, um, a free event. How many people? I'll give you an example. I had an eighth grade reunion in 2019, and we only had 20 some kids in that class, and it was our 30-year reunion, and I threw a party for it. Now I talked to a lot of my classmates, and they were all, yeah, this is gonna be great. I can't wait to see everybody and reconnect and the whole thing. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. So I went out and I bought food and I cooked it and we nice steaks and um, all kinds of really good food, and it was fairly expensive. And but I was excited because I was going to see friends I hadn't seen in years and years and years. And out of the 20 some people, only one person showed up. Only one person showed up. And I was so happy that she was there. But here's the thing. Jocelyn is her name, and she's watching. Hi, Jocelyn. And I'll never forget this. In fact, we message each other every day on Facebook. She's better at it than I do. Some days I lose track of the day and I don't send one, but I try to every day, and she does every day. She never misses. She's amazing. But she took a bus, a train, and she was going to take a cab or an Uber. And I thank goodness she called me because I was able to go pick her up. I was like, you're not going to take an Uber. So she took three modes of transportation, right? Bus, train, and my car, and came to the party. It was just she and I. Okay? There's Kevin Pulse. He is the Kevin's title. I'm trying to think what it is. President of Ideas. So Kevin says, as you know, Justin Mirigliani, my one Facebook group has over 8,100 members asking for $5, $10, $20 to support our charity. He says your charity, but no, it's our charity. Kevin's a huge part of it. So that's what we're asking for. We're asking for $5, $10, $20. And I didn't do this show, and I didn't call Kevin ahead of time and say to do this. But out of those 8,100 people, I really think that a very small amount will make that donation. And I don't think it's malicious. I don't think it's because they want to withhold money. I think it's because it can be inconvenient. It can be hard because people think, well, I got to go and again, I got to open up another web page. I got to go to this site. Um, it's work. Or I'll do it later. That's another thing, putting it off. Well, if you put it off long enough, you're not going to do it at all. You're going to forget. It's human. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is how do some people figure out how to do it? And how do other people like me not figure out exactly how to do it? I don't know what the answer is. I wish I did. I wish I did. Like I said, when I see somebody in trouble, a friend in trouble, even if it's only $5, I'll give the $5 because in my mind, if I give $5, somebody else might give $5, and you might get somebody else to do it, and it might roll. You get 1,000 people to do that $5. It's $5,000. You're only out $5, but that other person is 5,000 now to pay medical bills or whatever it is. So it doesn't have to be large sums. I think when people think, of charities like mine or any other charity asking for donations, I don't even like it when they put huge numbers up there. To me, just let people decide what they want. When they put, do you want to give a gift of $1,000? I mean, most people are going to not be able to do that. I mean, that's just not feasible unless you are wealthy and it's a cause that you really believe in. But that's rare that people are going to just put up $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever for a cause that they're not really invested in. Now, if it's something that they're invested in, yeah, they might. And I've had that happen. It's happened. But with ulcerative colitis, which I had, and that's why I have the charity, Checkmates Charitable Association. And that's where Kevin is the president of Ideas. What we raise money for is important to me because I did have ulcerative colitis and I did have surgery to remove my entire large intestine. And I am an ostomy patient. And what I want to do is help people not be in that position and help people who are in that position be able to handle it because my life has been great since I had it. And, people would say, oh, it's a life sentence with the bag. You're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to do that. It's not true. I thought it was true before I had it. But having an ostomy, it's made my life better. I don't have to run for a bathroom all the time. I don't have to worry about long car trips. I don't have to worry about not going skiing because I had colitis and needed to be near a bathroom, not being able to go on the beach. I could do all those things. that I couldn't do before. I lift weights still. I thought, oh, my weightlifting career is over. Now I am out of the gym for a few months because of a herniated disc, but from a car accident. But that's different. That's different. It had nothing to do with the ostomy. Can you meet people in a romantic setting? Yes, you can with an ostomy. It's just covered by a belt. It's not like it's out in the open. So everything that anybody else can do, I can do. It's not like I have I'm considered a disabled American, but to me, it's not really a disability. I don't have a placard and park in a handicap spot or anything like that because I don't need to. I don't need to. My disability is just not that bad. But other people, it could be worse. I've known people who have passed away from it. We've had Ed Bernstein. Ed Bernstein is a phenomenal lawyer who graduated with my father, the first graduates of Widener Law School back in 1976, I think it was. Ed went out to Nevada and he won two of the largest cases in Nevada history. I can't remember how many hundreds of millions of dollars it was, but it was incredibly large sum of money two times. And I'm sure he's done more than that, but those two were the two largest in the history of Nevada. He also has a talk show, the longest running talk show in the history of Nevada. And he's interviewed presidents, former presidents. He's interviewed all kinds of people. His daughter passed away from Crohn's disease. Really, the Crohn's disease forced her to have a small intestine transplant. And because of that transplant, her body rejected it and she died from the complications from the rejection. But, Ed does amazing things for people with Crohn's and colitis. And he uses what wealth he has to help people who are in that position. And again, we've had Ed on the show before. He's a great guy. And he's helped me out on many occasions with a lot of different advice and things like that. But you don't have to be somebody who's got the money that Ed does to make a difference because your little bit helps. It's just like voting. I mean, if you go to vote, you're only one vote. But yeah, if everybody says, well, my vote doesn't count, so I'm not going to show up, and nobody shows up, then nobody voted. That's why it's got to be the one on top of the other. It's got to be that exponential jump. And I don't know why for some people, is it fame that helps? Is it children? I did a campaign. It was because it was colitis and Crohn's and ostomy. I did $2 for number two, right? Just kind of a play on the saying, I'm going to go number one or number two. So we're talking about number two. $2 for number two. I literally did not get one donation of $2. Not one. And again, not angry, but I just wondered what it is that I'm doing wrong or what it is I could say or do to make people walk the walk, to make people say, you know what, I'm going to make a donation of $2. What's $2? It's not going to change anything. It's what? You can't even buy a hot dog with that at a convenience store. It's so little. But if 1,000 people did it, it's $2,000 that goes into the charity. And that was my thinking is I'm not asking for a ton. So I guess I'm trying to figure out what makes some people walk the walk and what makes some people just talk the talk. What makes some people say, well, yeah, I'll help you and then not show up. And when it's over and over again, I think that's when it becomes frustrating. Yeah, everybody's going to have to tell you no once in a while. I can't, my kid's in a tournament in softball, so I'm going to be out of town. But if I were in town, I would definitely come and help you. That's totally different. But if you ask somebody for help 5, 6, 7 times and they say no, and you've helped them out a lot, then that's when it's time to say, you know what, this is just a losing game here, and I'm not going to be a part of it anymore. That I think that's when you become a people pleaser, and that's where you get taken advantage of. Again, it doesn't have to be 50-50. I'm not saying it's got to be all up and even, but there's got to be some give and take. But I tried that, did $2 for number two and sent it out to thousands of people. If everybody had donated $2, it would have been, I don't know how many thousand people saw it, but it would have been thousands of dollars that would have helped a lot of people. We help send kids to camp. There's a special camp for kids with inflammatory bowel disease, and we send them to that camp. We pay for their week at the camp because some kids can't afford to go. And it's a special camp for those kids because those kids need doctors on site, nurses on site. They need special nurses, ostomy nurses, and all kinds of different things. They have to be prepared for all kinds of problems. And I am not independently wealthy to say, oh, I'm just going to fork over, $500,000 and send all these kids to the camp. I would love to have that. I mean, I'd love to be in that position, but I'm not. So I rely on other people. And it's the same thing with doing work for people. This Saturday, a friend of mine from college, her son needs help at a cemetery. He's in the Boy Scouts, and they're working on graves in a graveyard. This graveyard, I don't know the whole story, but from what I can gather from it, the graveyard is just not in good shape. All the headstones are breaking and they're dirty, and they need to be glued back together with epoxy and all that kind of stuff. And they need soil on. I mean, just the whole 9 yards. And she put up a post about it, and I was like, hey, if you need anybody, if you need a body, I'll do it. It's no big deal. I can, do some things. I can't do everything with my back the way it is, but I could do some things. I could help people with hand them tools. I could clean. I could scrub the uh, well, I'm drawing a blank here. The stones, the tombstones. Couldn't think of the name, but I could do that, and that's not a problem. Now, I saw one person besides me post there or give it a thumbs up or anything like that on Facebook. Now, I have no idea if other people messaged her. I don't know. They might have. But from the post, it didn't look like, and this is a person with over 1,000, maybe 2,000 people as quote friends. Now, granted, not everybody on Facebook that you're friends with are really friends, but a lot are. Can you take some time out to do it? Claire, who's on the show a lot, you might remember Claire. She chats in a lot. She on her birthday, I wasn't. I knew she was going out, and I had plans. Not real deep, serious plans, but I had plans, and I knew she was out with a friend, and she called me up probably like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and I wasn't dressed to go out. I just had sweats on, and my hair wasn't combed or anything like that. I was just wearing a hat, that type of thing. And she said, I really need you to come out tonight because it's my birthday and some things happened to her that she was upset about, and she wasn't having the greatest birthday in the world. So I canceled my plans and I went. Now, did I go out of obligation? No. Did I go because I wanted something in return? No. It was her birthday, and I wanted her to be happy on her birthday. That's it. See, I think another thing that people wonder is when you're good to them, when you do things for them, they wonder a lot of times, I think, what's the catch? What is it that they want from me? Why are they doing this for me? Is there something in it for them? Are they looking for money? Are they looking for a pat on the back? Are they looking for, with men and women, are they looking for intimacy based on helping them? Or what is it that this other person, or vice versa? It could be a woman who does a lot of stuff for a man, and that man could either say, "Oh, that's really nice of this person," and I don't believe they have ulterior motives, or they could say, "I wonder if they have ulterior motives." The way I look at it is, I help my male friends. I'm heterosexual. I help my male friends as much as I help female friends. I don't look at it as a gender thing. And oh, well, if I do this, I'll get into her good graces, and she'll be attracted to me or whatever. I think that can happen if you're a nice person. I think people are attracted to you uh, based on the fact that you're just kind. I mean, I'm attracted to kind people. I'm not romantically attracted to males, but I like to be in the company of good people. So if there's a guy friend who's really good to me and really nice, yeah, I want to spend time with him. I want to go hang out, have a beer with him or play hockey with him or whatever. And with females, yeah, if it's a nice person, it's somebody that is really kind and somebody who I like to talk to, yeah, it's fun to be in their company. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's an attraction there or that you're doing it to force an attraction. That may develop. I mean, who knows? But my point is, just because people do good things doesn't mean they have ulterior motives. In this day and age, because of the way things have changed, what I went through as a kid couldn't happen today. I was an altar boy when I was in grade school, 14 years old. I have a 14-year-old daughter now, so it's kind of I could see both sides of this. But back then in 1989, when I was 14, the priest at the end of the year, because I did a ton of funeral masses, and he brought all of the boys who were altar boys for the funeral masses, and he took us out. He took us out of class, and he said, "I got a treat for you." And he took us to Independence Mall because we were right near the Independence Mall in Philadelphia, where the Declaration of Independence is signed, the Liberty Bell, all that. So we went to Independence Mall, and then he took us around town a little bit. Then he brought us up to his apartment in the rectory, and he had sodas for us, and he had cookies, and he had uh, this. I remember we were playing golf in his tiny little apartment. We were just hitting golf balls into this little putter that he had. He was a young priest. He wasn't an older guy, so he liked some of the music that we liked. Um, Nothing at all was bad about this. Nothing at all. I mean, this is a purely innocent gentleman, happened to be a priest, who wanted to just thank us for the work that we did because he knew we didn't get paid much. I mean, you get a few dollars as a tip from families, but that was about it. So he wanted to thank us for all of our hard work. Now, if you did that today, you're automatically labeled a pedophile. I mean, there's not a chance that you could do that today. No way. If I was in that position, I wouldn't do it. Not because I don't want to, but because the stigma of, oh, he's a grown man. He's got young boys in his apartment. What does that mean? I could see both sides. Having kids, I would be worried about that. I am worried about that. If my daughter said to me, well, look, I'm going to be in this person's apartment, it's an adult. Yeah, it unfortunately in today's world, it does cross my mind. But how disappointing is that? I mean, it really is. Because that was a nice time. That was something that I remember still at 50 years old. I was 14. So it's a shame that, hey, Claire's Claire. All right. Good to see you, Claire. It's just a shame that we can't do things just for the sake of doing things and people don't think, hey, you got an ulterior motive, that you're out for something because you're doing a nice thing. I I just wish that people would see it for what it is. Yeah. It's not people pleasing. It's not looking for recognition. The other thing is, and I've talked about mental health, and I've been with a therapist for a number of years, almost 30. Oh, thank you, Claire. Um, and one thing he tells me is, and I always said this to him. I said many times that I want to do things, and I don't want it to feel good because then it's not totally altruistic. That if it feels good to me, how do I know that I'm not doing it to feel good myself? How do I know that it's altruistic? And his answer was, why can't it be both? And I never thought about it. He said, why does everything have to be pure and totally altruistic with no feeling of happiness? Why does that tarnish it? And I thought about it. I was thinking, no, it doesn't. It really doesn't tarnish it. Not at all. So Do people, I don't know, do people not do things because they feel like it's not totally altruistic? I don't know if they feel that way. I don't know. Or do they feel guilty that it's, I've actually heard celebrities who say, you know, I've helped these people and I thought it was selfless, but it was selfish because they felt so good about it. Is it selfish to feel good about it? For the doing an action of kindness, performing an action of kindness and feeling good about it? Does that tarnish it? Does that make it less? No, no, it's the same thing. The reason why you feel good about it is you're a good person. Good people feel good about doing good things. If you weren't a good person, then you would have no joy from doing it at all, and you probably wouldn't. So it's okay to say, I did this and I got something out of it too. It's not bad. It doesn't change anything. And once I let go of that, I think it made it easier for me to go for the call to action. If people need something, as much as I can, I'm going to try to help them as much as I can. And is it okay that I want to be known as a helpful person? Yeah. Is it okay that people think, oh, well, I want to lean on him when I need him? Yeah. Does it feel good? Yes. Should I feel guilty about it? No, no, not at all. And I think there may be some people who, for that reason, can't bring themselves to a call to action, or find a way to be that person. Or maybe some people just don't want to be. And look, that's their decision. Maybe they're self-absorbed. You know, I have some very successful friends who are much more successful monetarily than I've ever been. And yet they've never shown up to an event that I've thrown for the charity. We do celebrity NHL hockey games. These are actually hockey fans who would enjoy that type of evening, you would think. But, I've been doing this since 2014, and people who I thought would be there, every year have never come. And again, I'm not angry. I'm not saying that it's well, I shouldn't say it's not upsetting. It is. It's disappointing. I will use that word. It's disappointing. I'm not angry, disappointed, because I know that I would do it for them if they said, "Oh, I'm having this charity, and it's hockey involved, and I'm big into hockey." Yeah, of course I'm going to be there, unless I'm like out of town or something. Sure. And then you get other friends who show up every year after year after year. So what happens with those friends that show up year after year after year? When they ask for something, I'm ready to jump and do it. The second they ask, I'm ready to do that action because they've done it for me. It's reciprocation. Now, it may not be, again, 50-50. They may come every year. I may help them once every 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, or vice versa, to work the other way. You don't have to count. You don't have to say, I hate it. I know we're up against the time, so I'll finish with this. I can't stand to go out to dinner with somebody who looks at the check and they cut it down to the penny. I mean, it's like, okay, you ate this, and oh my goodness. I mean, unless somebody had, a $200 plate, just split the check. I mean, it's not, it'll come out in the wash. You know, life's too short to count pennies. You owe $22.13, and you owe $24.16. Come on, you know. You buy one time, I'll buy another time. It doesn't matter if both bills came out to be the same thing. It doesn't make a difference. It's the thought behind it. Why do I do it? Because I want to make them happy. I want to be in their presence. A buddy of mine, we just did that in high school buddies. My friend Phil. And Phil, last time we went out to lunch, he paid. So the next time we go out to lunch, I'll pay. I'm not going to look at the bill and say, well, Phil, you paid, $45, and now this bill's $60. So, you owe me. No, 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 no. So to end with this, look for ways to answer the call to action. I'm not saying that just for my charity. I'm saying it for anything. You have a friend in need, take the call to action. You don't have to be asked. You can see that they're in need, take the call to action. You see somebody's down on their luck, they need something, take the call to action. If somebody asks you for help and you can do it, take the call to action. It's not going to only help them, it's going to help you. It's going to make you feel better too. But that's totally within your control, and that's totally your decision. All right, so that is the end of the show for this week. I want to thank Megan. She's done a great job over the last several weeks producing the show, and I really appreciate her. And I think Dr. Jacqueline is coming back, I think, next week. And we are going to start a new show pretty soon. It's going to be about sports nostalgia. We're looking for some pretty cool hosts who will be a part of it. I'll be hosting the show with somebody else, but we're going to have guest hosts, and we got some neat things coming up. So thank you very much. Hope everybody has a great week. Take that call to action this week. We just got done Thanksgiving. Now's the time. All right. I will see you next week. Have a good one, everybody.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover holy but harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives by Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
Every woman carries a story of strength, of purpose, of light. Through her courage, the world is transformed. Through her grace, generations are inspired. This is Iconic Women. Within Every Woman Lives a Goddess, a celebration of brilliance, beauty, and empowerment. Join us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. New York, 4 p.m. London time, only here on USA, Global TVR, and radio. Featuring the iconic Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, honoring voices that shine across the world. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, USA Global TV and Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, to watch and engage with all our content. World-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to TracyCramPerkins.com. Tracy Cram Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.